Fall River Licensing Board meeting to order. It is Wednesday, May 25th, as I said, 5:30, first floor hearing room, Government Center. I'm going to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting and may transmit the meeting through any media. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Okay, item number one, and I do ask anybody who comes up to participate in citizens' input, or if you want to speak in opposition or in support of anything on the agenda, when you come up front, please give your name and give your address, and again, speak clearly into the microphone so our friends at home can follow along rather than speaking from your seats. Okay, any public or citizens' input? Going once, going twice. Moving along, item number 2 on the agenda, one-day permits. The first one we have up is St. Cecilia Band, 293 Almond Street, Natalie Silva, for the dates of 6/18 and 6/19.
Yes, sir. She is in here. I'll be in lieu of her.
Okay, come on up front, sir. Can you just give your name and address, sir?
Yes, sir. Nelson Cabral, 57 Ryan's Way in Swansea, Massachusetts. Home of record.
Thanks, Nelson, and it looks like you guys are looking for beer and wine on both the 18th of June and 19th of June, St. Cecilia Band Club, is that
correct,
accurate?
sir. Yes, sir.
Is there anything you may want to add? It looks like we have here, the 18th would be Saturday from 5 p.m. to
A grammatical error there. It should be midnight.
midnight, yeah, okay, and the 19th from 4 to 10. I don't know if there's anything that you would like to add to your application?
Nothing at this time, so pretty straightforward. What we've done on an annual basis, now that we're back to full swing, post-COVID, just doing our typical traditions and customs. There is a permit in place for the actual processional piece on Sunday. That I believe has already been approved, and we're looking to obviously, talk about the details and having a detail for both the procession and the Saturday and Sunday evening.
Okay, do we have anyone who would like to speak either for or against the granting of this one day? Technically 2 day, excuse me. Detective, any input on your end? Would the board like to entertain a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the one-day permits for the Santa Cecilia Band, June 18th and June 19th.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cordero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Application is granted. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
2B, you're welcome. 2B, St. Anthony Padua Church, 16th Street, Reverend Gorvin. Looks like we have dates of June 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th.
Yes, that's correct.
Could you give your name and address,
My
please?
name is Manuel Medeiros, 42 Striper Circle, North Dock.
Mr. Medeiros,
And
welcome.
this is Angelo Sardina.
Mr.
131 Orange Street, Fall River.
Mr. Sardina, welcome. It appears that we have application for 4 days, looks like beer and wine. Again, you've
Yes.
listed yourself as a nonprofit, which we're aware. And it's for the feast, annual feast, is,
Both feasts.
you have 2 different weekends,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, both parish feasts?
Yes.
Okay. Is anyone here who would like to speak for or against the granting of this one-day application, 4-day application? Hearing none. Detective, any concerns?
She doesn't do one day.
Not at all,
Not
1
at all.
days at all? Okay,
No.
very good. Would the board like to entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-day permits for St. Anthony of Padua's Church for June 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Cordero, seconded by Mrs. Esposito. All those in favor?
Aye.
Your application's granted. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
Bishop Conley, I believe item 2C, based on information from our clerk, has been withdrawn?
Yeah, all the other agendas don't
Okay.
say that.
Okay,
There's no need.
so if you have an agenda that has 2C Bishop Conley, that's been withdrawn.
Okay.
One-day permits, item 2D, St. Anthony Band, 1040 Pine Street. Mr. John Perry, looks like dates, July 8th, July 9th, and July 10th. Mr. Perry, how are you? Could you give your address, please?
John Perry, 264 Winter Street, Fall River.
Thanks, Mr. Perry. Looks like we have 3 different days, beer and wine application, St. Anthony Band Club, annual feast?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? Will the board entertain a motion for this three-day permit?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to grant the 3-day permits for July 8th, July 9th, and July 10th. That's beer and wine.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cadero. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Your application's granted.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome, Mr. Perry. Good luck.
All right,
This is my copy.
Next, we have our Day of Portugal. Gates of the City, Kevin Santos. We have June 9, June 10, June 11, June 12. Gentlemen, good evening. Could you state your name and address?
Tony Roberts, 161 Highland Avenue.
Welcome, Tony.
Pick on my son.
Kevin Santos, 408 South Main Street, Fall River, Mass.
Welcome, Mr. Santos. It looks like here on the one-day permit questionnaire, it looks like they're all beer and wine. Now, I don't know if I am missing something here. Clerk Ash, I have one that is blank.
You can just check it off. It's all beer and wine,
All
correct,
beer and
guys?
wine.
Yes,
okay.
beer and wine, yep.
Very good. Would you guys like to give a statement on the Day of Portugal?
Oh, well, we're an event that's been happening for the last 10 years now, longer with the new community. We just want to continue, as we do every year, and everything that is planned has been year past. We've had a meeting with the mayor's office, with every department head, police department, fire department. So we just want to make sure this is another successful and safe event.
Thanks, guys, and we appreciate the plans.
Yep. I know.
Is anyone here who would like to speak either for or in opposition to these applications? Hearing none, would the board entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-day permits for the Day of Portugal, Fall River, for June 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
I'll second that motion.
So the 4-day permit is motions made by Ms. Cadero, seconded by Mrs. Esposito. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, application granted. Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next application that we have, which is item F on your agenda, Providence Food Truck Events. Gates of the City, Michael Ferrera, we have dates 6/2/22, 7/7/22, 9/1/22. Gentlemen, if you can give your name and address.
Sure, good afternoon, Board. Michael Ferrera, 1691 Street, Fall River, Mass.
Eric Weiner, 11 South Angel Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02906.
Since we have both gentlemen up, would the board entertain a motion of combining this with, I understand we would need different motions, but moving item 3A up the agenda to be dealt with 2F here, considering they're kind of we have both
Oh, they're-
gentlemen in front of us.
Oh, okay.
Same event. Could I get a motion to that effect, to move 3A up to 2F?
I'll make a motion to move 3A to, what is it, to 2F?
Up to
No.
2F.
Yeah, to 2F.
Motion made by
You want the
Mrs.
dates? Don't need the dates?
No, that's all
No?
right.
Okay.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So we're gonna take 2F. So again, I'm gonna read both,
Yeah.
both agenda items out loud. Providence Food Truck Events, Gates of the City. Michael Ferrera, this is gonna be daily beer permits for the dates of 6/2, 7/7, and 9/1. And I believe Eric is here. Eric's application is related to food. One-day permits for the same dates of 6/2, 7/7, and 9/1.
His permit is not for food, I'm sorry to interrupt you, it's for the entertainment.
Oh, my
Yeah,
apologies.
no worries.
My apologies, entertainment. I do apologize. Michael, if you want to just say a few words first?
Sure, so we're, on our behalf for Troy City Brewing, we're looking to do a beer garden at the event.
Yep.
During their hours, which are their hours.
It'll be 5 PM to sunset on all 3 days.
On all 3 days. All right, very good, Michael. Eric, and what about your end? What are you looking to do? If you can explain a little bit further on the entertainment.
Sure, so we'll have live music, a band, 3 to 4 piece band, playing during the same hours that we have the food truck set up and the beer and wine, on all 3 of those days from 5 PM to sunset.
Okay. Anyone present like to speak either for or in opposition to either of these applications? Again, one is for beer and one is for entertainment for the Gates of Fall River event. Seeing none, we're gonna need two
Yes.
separate motions.
Right. Want me to do them? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the one-day permits for the June 2nd, July 7th, and September 1st. And that's for beer only, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Application for the daily permits passes.
I'll make
Now
a
the next
motion-
one.
I'll make a motion to approve the entertainment for June 2nd, July 7th, and September 1st. And again, that's for live music.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, and application passes. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, so we've just handled 2F and 3A.
Yes.
Next up is 2G. Spirit of Santo, 311 Alden Street, Michelle DeMello. And it looks like we have a 3-day application for beer and wine. Sir, could you identify yourself and give your address?
Yep, Nathan Carvalho, 34 Forsythia Lane, Westport, Mass.
Nathan, welcome. Can you just give us a little insight as to what you're doing? I'm assuming this is for the annual feast.
Yeah, today's the day of feasts, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, our annual feast, now that, things are back in motion with COVID, so we're going back full force, so, yeah, just, licensed to sell beer and wine at the event.
Very good. Anyone in attendance, either for or against this application? Hearing none, would the board like to entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-day permits for the Espirito Santo Church for June 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Motion made by Ms. Cudero,
I'll second that motion.
seconded by Mrs. Esposito. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with it.
Thank you, thank you.
Did we do Bishop Conlon?
No, it got
Not-
taken
not
off
here.
the agenda.
Got taken.
Oh, that's right.
It was pulled, actually.
Yes, that's right. I got it withdrawn.
Okay, now we're moving into Class 2 auto licenses. The first one we have up is 4A. Cavallo Tire and Auto Center, 410 Second Street, Paulo Cavallo.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Attorney Gregory Brain on behalf of Cavallo's Tire and Auto Center, Inc. By brief statement regarding this application, this is an application that is the exact same operation that was there previously, that was run by Big Wheel Truck Sales, Inc. Nothing whatsoever is changing, the same amount of cars, the same footprint, everything is the same. Mr. Cavallo's here tonight, he's a little nervous, so he's sitting in the audience. He's an experienced mechanic, and his son's gonna help him run the auto sales portion of this particular business. Again, nothing whatsoever has changed from the prior business. We've already got the auto repair license transferred, the auto body license transferred, and all applicable permits from the fire department have all been transferred, okay, and he has them, actually, he's picking them up tomorrow from the city clerk's office. So if you have any questions, feel free to answer those.
Okay, so we have no change in business. I do want to let the board know that we have a positive review with no objections from Chief of Police, Chief Gorvin.
This is for
This is for Cavallo's.
Cavallo's,
Yep.
right?
Yep, transfer of license,
Yep.
used vehicles, Class 2
Class 2,
license.
yeah.
Does the board have any questions for Attorney Brilliant?
No, I have no questions.
Anyone here present have any questions, concerns, want to speak for or against this application?
Okay.
Hearing none, board have a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the Class 2 license for Cavallo's Tire and Auto.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Ms. Cadero. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, motion approved.
Thank you, members of the board. Thank you. Good night.
Have a good night, Attorney Brilliant. 4B is G&P Auto Sales, Inc., 699 Pleasant Street. Mr. Pinheiro. Okay. Gentlemen, could you identify yourself and give your address?
Yes. Hi, my name's Gabriel De Oliveira, and I live at 31 Hanson Street in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Welcome, Gabriel.
Thank you.
My name is Jose Pinheiro. I live in 31 Hanson Street.
Fall River.
Fall River.
Okay. Gentlemen, can you tell us what you're looking to do? It looks like we have an application for a Class 2 license. Would this be a transfer?
I believe it was, yeah, Pleasant, yeah.
Okay.
There was something there prior.
Gentlemen, we have a situation where, this has come up to us before, I believe it was on the agenda last month, but there apparently is some sort of an outstanding issue with the police department. I don't know if Detective, if you could elaborate further. Do you have information on this? I see the letter from the chief.
Oh, yeah. So it's just his license.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just your driver's license. You have outstanding, things that you need to pay with the RMV.
I have been.
Yeah, that was already fixed.
It was already fixed?
Yeah, it was already fixed, yes, correct. Like he already
I
renewed
know
the
you have it
license.
here, you wanna see it?
It was an outstanding parking fine that
Okay.
he didn't know that he
Did he-
had.
did
That
you-
was already paid, and he already got the new license as well.
Did he submit it to the police department so we could sign off on it?
Yes, he submitted it to the lawyer said that he submitted it to the police department.
I think I did go over this twice.
Okay, Walter Freeze, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
correct.
I explained to Walter that that needs to be fixed. He might have brought it. I have no, Chelsea I don't think doesn't have any record of it, neither do I.
We can
So we can,
double check.
We have no information that it's been rectified yet, whether the attorney has given it to the police department, but we have no new information that the matter has been corrected.
Okay, yeah, the information that was relayed to us was that it had already been corrected, that's why we.
Got you.
Today.
So
table it.
I'm assuming we could either table it or approve pending positive police
Yeah,
review.
I would,
That's for
yeah,
your
I would
job.
have,
That's fine, like I said, he already has the new license. and to be able to get the new license, he had to pay the parking ticket, which was already
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So there was no way he could have gotten the new one
So
already
we can
until
do
that.
pending.
Well, listen, well, first, let me ask
Chelsea,
if we
yeah.
have anybody, if we have anyone present, either to speak for or in opposition to this particular application. Detective, did you have a problem with that scenario
No.
if the board decided to go that way?
No, that's fine.
All right. With the board, it's really the will of the board. What would the board like to do as far as a motion?
I don't know if, I'm sorry if I could.
Sure.
say
No,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
Very similar to the prior, case that you guys were just on, all the permits from like the police department was already done. The permit for the auto repair shop was also already done.
Oh, it's strictly a
Yes.
transfer and nothing has changed at the
Exactly, nothing's
property.
changing.
Yeah.
It's just because it's new ownership, we just took
Correct.
over, my father and I, 2 months ago, for the old owners that were there for many, many years, so we just have to transfer the license over to be able to continue doing what is
Yeah,
already.
and
done.
that's the information we have. It's been
Yeah.
this outstanding matter that's been holding things up. But again, it's up to
Does
the,
Chelsea you have the new report?
well,
Police
no, she doesn't have any new information that the matter's been corrected. So
But
I
I
would,
can check that
I
tomorrow.
I would suggest
Okay.
our options would be to table or approve pending
Yeah.
verification
Yeah, I'll do that.
of this corrected matter to
Yeah.
Clerk Ash.
Sounds good to me, if you
Yeah.
guys are on board, yeah.
I'll make a motion to do that. To approve this pending the receipt of the new police report. You could give it to Ms. Ayash, bring it there.
She'll get something from the police department, so.
Yeah.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cadero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, again,
Yeah.
pending positive review,
Right.
police department, correcting
So
information.
we'll get a hold of Walter or either,
Well, and obviously the detective is gonna check on her end, but yeah, you might wanna ask Walter to get in touch.
sounds good. No
You
problem.
should have gotten something stating that you paid that fine.
Yes, I
Why don't you give me a copy of that, and then I'll send it over to the detective, okay?
Sounds good. Do you have the receipt with you?
I
Oh,
think
you-
so, I
you
have
don't-
it on my phone.
Yeah, know what, well, you can print it tomorrow, even if
I
you
can
send it to
print
my
it.
email, I can print it for you, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Appreciate it.
That one's done.
Okay, next up, we have Class 1 application. This is matter 5A, RAH Fall River Volkswagen LLC, doing business as Audi Fall River Volkswagen, 80 William Canning Boulevard. Mr. Doucette, Mr. Rosenberg.
Hi, Dave Rosenberg, 133 Front Street, Marblehead, Mass.
Welcome, Mr. Rosenberg. Mr. Rosenberg, we don't get many applications of where we have new lots and changing hands and transferring. Do we have any changes? Is this what I would have referred to as the Matty
Yes.
dealership on the avenue? Okay. Any changes in operation at the location?
No, it's still gonna remain a Volkswagen Audi dealership, sales, service, parts. And hopefully we'll keep all the staff that's currently there, with the exception of the Maddies who may retire.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Waiting for detective. Okay, so, I'd like to make the board aware that we are waiting, from the detective for a completed police report on the transfer. So that's something we have right now that is incomplete on the file. I don't know if board members would have any other questions of Mr. Rosenberg. Let me quickly ask, is there anyone present that would be either for or against this pending application? Okay, hearing none. Once again, same as the last application, I mean, we could give a positive we could give a positive motion and recommendation here pending the results of the police report and those results sent over to Clerk Ash. So if that's the will of the board,
Yeah.
can I get a motion stating that?
I'll make a motion to approve the Class 1 license for RAH Fall River VW pending a positive police report.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made in support by Ms. Cordero and seconded by Mrs. Esposito. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, again, pending positive police report. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
look
Rosenberg.
forward to doing business in
Sir, I'll call you as soon as I get it, okay? So
Okay,
you can
yep.
kind of have some
All right.
solace with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next up is 6A. We have new beer and wine common victualers license, Macarios Inc., doing business as Sam's Pizza, 144 Rodman Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Madam Clerk, Madam Detective. For the record, my name is Arthur Frank. I'm a lawyer with an address of 209 Bedford Street, and I represent your petitioner tonight, that being Macarios Inc., doing business as Sam's Pizza, and the principal is seated to my left. That's Mr. Dawad Youssef. We were before this board this past fall when Mr. Youssef applied for a CV license. He owns the building, and he is the proprietor of the pizza parlor. He now comes before you tonight looking for a beer and wine license.
Okay, Attorney Frank, I have a recommendation that the license be denied from Sitting Chief Paul Gorvin. So we do not have a positive recommendation from the City of Fall River Police Department.
Do we know why?
He does not elaborate here. I don't know if the detective could possibly.
I thought it was what, similar to that, yeah.
Do you remember if it was all set or? I thought it was all set.
Oh, I don't think it was all set. I'm sorry, I thought you said it was similar to the other one.
It might just be a non-renewable license type thing. I don't know what, it usually says why on here, but not sure if that didn't get, it's, I would maybe do the same thing. It usually says why.
Mr. Chairman, he seems to think it might have been an excise tax bill.
Yeah.
He's paid it.
Yep, I'm already paid, and I called the police department, he tell me all set. You go.
All right, well,
And I have the bill.
You have to go to the police.
Get the receipt?
I have a picture of the bill. One second.
We would still need a new police report.
He was denied, at first. I don't know if he ever submitted anything else after that.
Screenshot, evidently he paid what it was owed.
excise, okay. Any idea if this over here, attorney, is related? Is that all one particular matter? See the third item there?
It's only a screenshot, so you're gonna have a hard time.
The one that says warrant?
Yeah. Not sure if it's related to the
Chelsea,
pay.
take a look. She's.
I don't know.
I can find the email for you if you want. The email, he sent me down after I paid, I get the email for receive the email. I can show you this
Well,
screenshot.
And we can entertain one of two options here. I mean, I agree that one thing looks like it's paid, but I'm concerned about another, something else that shows on the screenshot.
Gonna have to table it until,
Okay.
Table it.
yeah.
Okay, so the recommendation of the police department for right now is to table to next month, so we can verify that you've cleared up the matter, and they can get, hopefully, in your favor, a positive report over to Clerk A. Ash. First of all, again, anyone here like to speak for or against this matter? This is your opportunity. Hearing none, could I get a motion for the board, please, from the board?
I'll make a motion to table this until June.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Ms. Cadero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, this matter is tabled till the June meeting.
I did online. I can show this here.
So they've already tabled it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Come back next month.
It's fine.
All right, that's good.
Okay, next on the agenda, item number 7. Change of manager, change of officers, directors, LLC managers, Portuguese American Society, Inc., doing business as the 100 Club, 37 Purchase Street, Mr. Louis Betancourt.
Once again, Mr. Chairman, for the record, my name is Arthur Frank. I'm a lawyer with an address of 209 Bedford Street, and I represent the Portuguese American Society, Inc., doing business as the 100 Club, in the upper floor of 37 Purchase Street. With me tonight are Mr. Luis Betancourt and Mr. Paulo Filogenio. There's been a reorganization of this nonprofit, and suffice it to say, the prior bar manager has left. She has resigned her office and directorship in the nonprofit. The board met and they voted Mr. Filogenio in as a new director, and they also voted Mr. Betancourt to take over the duties as the bar manager. Nothing else has changed. Still the same operation, still the same hours of operation. Again, it's just an organizational change.
Okay, before we ask questions of the board, anyone here to speak for or against this particular application? Hearing none, do the board members have any questions of this matter? Attorney Frank, I do have some questions. This is the nonprofit portion, right? The 100 Club over on Purchase Street. I did go online today, and again, I'm not trying to expand the jurisdiction of the licensing board and whatnot, but again, do some research. I did see that the annual reports were all filed in April.
Everything's been filed and all the names have been updated as per the directive from the ABCC.
Okay. As per director of the ABCC?
If you look in their instructions, they suggest when you're gonna make a change, either try to do them simultaneously with your meeting before the local licensing board or prior thereto. So we did them prior thereto.
Okay. You know, what I'm concerned about is, you know, the board obviously granted, I believe, the full liquor license the last time. It was gonna be run as a nonprofit. Reports were obviously not done. I understand now we've changed the directors and the officers or the bar manager. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
We've swapped one out. There are other remaining directors that are staying on, I'm assuming.
2 directors left and the bar manager left. And we brought in Mr. Filogenio as a new director. He was previously one of the original formers of the nonprofit. He just didn't hold an office.
Okay,
But we've now slotted him as the director.
okay. The responsibility of the annual reports and whatnot, was that solely falling on the bar manager who's now
I could-
resigned, or?
It might have been some miscommunication between her and the accountant that handles the finances. But once I learned that they were not filed, I filed them.
Yeah. Well, again, you know, my concern is, you know, what is the licensing board's duties, responsibilities when it comes to this? And again, I'm not looking to expand the jurisdiction, whatever is the will of the board here. We don't have a sitting attorney, and what worries me again is kind of the board was, I don't, duped is not the right word, but my point is the board was approached and gave, I believe, an all liquor license to the nonprofit back in 2020, but it didn't necessarily operate as a nonprofit. And that concerns me without having any, other than the city's, you know, not solicitor, other than the city's corporation counsel, but this isn't something that I, you know, would preemptively look into. So in other words, now it's in front of us, and I am a little bit skeptical about the possibility of making the same mistake twice. In that, you know, we grant a liquor license, but yet it doesn't really function. You know, even looking online today, this morning at lunchtime, for the mission statement for the 100-member club, it talks about scholarships and things of that nature. Now, I don't know if that was done at all.
We are working on that.
You're working, okay. So the fact that before with the no annual reports and before having the bar manager resign, is it fair to say that none of that took place since 2020 to now? Is that
Correct, yes. We talked about it, but they never did anything, so we ended up like reschedule everything and restructure everything and doing the right things.
Okay.
So could we table it
I
till we
would-
get the paperwork?
I mean, speaking as one member, Attorney Frank,
We did a donation to YMCA last year.
What was this?
We made a donation for.
YMCA, the YMCA.
Yeah.
Here in Fall River.
Here in Fall River last year, so, but it was small, but this year we are.
Okay. Well, again, I mean, you know, as applicants.
Do you want to see the printout from the Secretary of the Commonwealth? I have it.
I might even have it on my own that I printed today, but I'd be happy to take a look at whatever you have. Because I did see that all the 3 reports were filed in this April for 2020, the annuals, 2020, 2021.
That's the updated one, that has Mr. Filogenia's name in
Yeah, substituted
it. Yep.
for the individual who resigned. Again, the other, the president, treasurer, the other individuals are all.
They're gone.
this-
The people who originally were in, the original bar manager,
Yeah,
is no longer associated with the nonprofit.
correct. The directors from 2020 are still the directors now, other than that one individual.
Mrs. Correa is no longer a director.
Okay, so in 2020, Ms. Fernandez a director?
Yes,
She's still a director.
she's gone.
Well, she's listed, is this says, am I missing something here? I have directors Louis Betancourt, Rosa Fernandez, and Mr. Filangenio? Filangenio.
That's a new one.
I have. Prior directors,
I think I was on board.
Mr. Betancourt was there.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
That's right.
So Ms. Fernandez was not. Rosa Fernandez?
Rosa is Mr. Betancourt's wife.
Okay, and she was a director when it
Correct.
was first formed in 2020. So she is still gonna be a director.
Correct.
That hasn't changed.
That's correct.
Well, that, you can see, that's part of my concern. We have one person changing here, but there were other people who technically would also be responsible for pursuing the nonprofit's mission. I guess that's the fairest way to say it.
Well, I think you also have to remember, this was opened in the middle of the pandemic, and for the longest time, they weren't even opened. So it's very hard for any group, nonprofit or profit, to follow their mission if the state is shut down.
Well, in the last 2 years, have members joined? I mean, I've seen on the website, there are, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
silver and gold members, $500 and $1,000.
Yeah, we don't have the 1,000 no more, we actually have to remove, but we have the 500, which attracts a little bit more people.
Okay.
But it's been slow, so, with this, all this pandemic before and everything else.
I guess I circle back to the fact that, again, I'm not sure if exposure is the right word, and I'm not suggesting anything nefarious going forward. We don't have an attorney relegated to this board, and I would like to see something in writing from the city's corporation counsel, at least not having any sort of an impediment or a reason to oppose this particular approval of the application. Now, that's just, again, that's one member's
I'm
opinion.
following you, Mr. Chairman. The license was granted.
Correct.
It's been used properly. There were no outstanding show cause hearings for this nonprofit. They opened in the middle of the pandemic. They're trying to operate now. People have left. New people have come in. So realistically, what are you asking us to tell us how much money we're gonna donate this year?
Attorney
I don't think
Frank,
that's-
I'm not suggesting that the license wasn't used properly, but again, the organization didn't necessarily follow its own mission. I mean, that's what I'm concerned about here. You know, so in other words, I mean, does that factor into this at all? You know, from
I don't think it's for this board to.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it may or it may not.
To delve into the extent of their mission. If the IRS thinks they're not following their mission, then they'll lose their tax exempt status.
Well, when this, again, in one person's opinion, when this board grants a liquor license to a nonprofit and 3 annual reports are not filed, I mean, I think it's fair to question that and at least have legal representation on our end say exactly what you're saying. If the state and the IRS don't have a problem, then it's not within the jurisdiction of this board to have an issue with it. That's my concern.
Is it need more paperwork?
I would like to have something in writing from Corporation Counsel that this is cool. But it would be tabled for a month, and something in that, yeah. Excuse me? I can only second.
I'll make, but.
Yeah, I think, we just don't understand your concern because we don't think it's within your jurisdiction. If the corporation is not in good standing, it can always be placed back in good standing. And if there's an oversight because somebody didn't file an annual report, that doesn't negate who you are or what you do.
I can't even necessarily challenge your legal opinion on that, your legal expertise. What I'm challenging, I think I've stated really where my concern comes from, and the fact that I believe that Corporation Counsel should at least give this board something in writing that we have at least done our due diligence, and if he says, hey, there's no jurisdiction here to stop this transfer, then that's fine. But I do feel that there's a bit of an issue in the fact that, let's say there was, I don't want to go into hypotheticals, but, you know, could a fair person argue that this board was used for a nonprofit to operate, given a liquor license, and the nonprofit arguably, I mean, again, wasn't even following its own mission. I mean, I think that's pretty clearly stated. You know, we have one small donation to the Boys and Girls Club, admittedly. We have members who have joined and paid a fee to join. It's open from, I think, 11 in the morning according to the website. I looked at it quick again today at lunch, but I believe it's 11 to 1. You know, in-house kitchen, the whole 9 yards, but yet annual reports weren't done, and we want to blame one person when some of these directors are the same folks. I just think it's a fair hesitation on my part. I'm not yet, the Corporation Counsel may agree with you to the letter,
If that's
Attorney
the case,
Frank.
then you should make the same inquiry of every nonprofit that comes before you for a liquor license or for a change of office. Because now you're singling out one nonprofit.
Well, Attorney Frank, if it comes to my attention, again, and I saw that you filed now in April, but when it comes to your attention that annual reports have not been filed, I'd be more than happy to see whether, regardless of the nonprofit that it is. And again, not to reject or deny, but to have input of Corporation Counsel to say, hey, you guys have handled your roles properly, it is what it is, you have to approve it next month.
I'll take the board's judgment on this, but I think
I understand you
they're being
disagree.
unfairly treated.
I disagree because I think we have some responsibilities here.
Corporations go out of compliance all the time, and then they go back into compliance.
Correct. We're issuing the license, that's not a privilege, it's the exact focal point of the operation running. I mean, alcohol, food, there's an all alcohol there, I imagine the food comes from the restaurant, I don't know about other things, I don't know if cigars are sold or not sold, I do not know. I don't know, I've never been to the business, and I don't have a problem with the business in and of itself. I just wanna make sure, again, I think as one board member, that for the protection of the board, I'd like to have some legal weigh in here. And we handle it next month.
So what-
Positive review, then no problem.
What do we need to do?
He's gonna refer it to the Corporation Counsel's office for review as to the implication that annual reports weren't filed timely. I think that's his issue.
A written review, again, if we have any responsibility here to uphold this license based upon those annual reports or whatever. And again, the fact that if Corporation Counsel agrees with Attorney Frank, no problem moving this along. But I would like, to, again, we don't have somebody on staff, and this isn't something, again, a month ago, wouldn't have even thought on this. Once it came on the agenda and we have to deal with this, I basically would like to have that legal support for the board.
It's not the accountant is gonna do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's,
Yeah. So I would like to make a motion to table it till next month and everything we need.
Whatever we need.
Yes,
at least on our pending
speaking to corporation, yeah, our corporation lawyer.
motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cadero. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You have it. Now, moving on to the next matter, which I believe is Townhouse.
That's correct. Once again, we did a reorganization, and Mr. Filogino's limited liability company, Oakville Investment Group, is now a 50% owner of RLJ Group LLC. He and his wife Ariane are the managers of that limited liability company, and the new bar manager would be, again, Louis Betancourt.
Simple transfer, no change in operations, no
Nothing.
change in hours.
All the same.
Managers, yep. Anyone here for or against this particular application? Seeing none, do we have any questions from the board?
No?
No questions.
Any input from FRPD?
Well, it was all approved.
Okay. I'm making an assumption here, but I believe I'm correct. We need several motions here.
Yes.
At least
right.
two, at least two.
Manager, bar manager,
Change of-
officers, directors, LLC managers, and change of ownership interest. Why don't we just do them all, just to be on the safe
Oh, yeah,
side?
no, I prefer you do them all.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
All right, would the board like to entertain any motions here?
I'll make a motion to approve the change of manager.
Motion made by Ms.
I'll
Esposito,
second.
seconded by Ms. Coelho. All those in favor?
Aye. Make a-
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the change of officers.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve change of officers by Ms. Esposito, Mrs. Esposito, seconded by Mrs. Cadero. All those in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve the directors.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
There's a whole bunch.
Yep.
I think you should all probably take a motion to approve the change in partial ownership. I don't think you took that vote yet.
No, it's
Well,
coming
that's
up.
come, the ownership interest, that one's
Yeah.
coming, yep.
Yeah. Motion to approve LLC managers.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for change in LLC managers is approved. Next.
Motion to approve change of ownership in trust.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito, seconded by Ms. Cudero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion for change in ownership interest passes. Attorney Frank, I'm gonna look for you guys, if you want more motions here, in parentheses after the change in
No, I
ownership
think-
interest, I have LLC members, LLC partners, and trustees.
That should do it.
Well, should
No
have,
trustees, there were no trustees.
okay,
Okay.
all right, so we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
I believe we're good. Gentlemen, good
I'm
luck.
content. Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Good
month.
luck.
See you
Yeah,
next
see you
month.
next month.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. All right, item number 9. Amusement machines / change of hours, island buffet.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members,
Good evening.
commissioners, Ms. Ayash, detective, and nobody said what your name is, just detective. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So, my name is David Assad. I'm an attorney licensed to practice in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I maintain offices at 326 Pine Street in the city of Fall River. I'm here this evening on behalf of the Island Buffet, and with me is the sole officer and director of the Island Buffet, Guideris Castillo. The request before the board is 2 parts. The first one is they want to buy, they have in fact bought 2 pool tables, but have not put them into operation yet without permission of the board. And the second part of the request is a change of hours from the current hours of Thursday through Saturday noon to 11 p.m. to be extended for an additional 2 hours to 1 a.m. All other hours of operation remain unchanged. It's the belief of Ms. Castillo that the addition of 2 pool tables and extended hours is expected to enhance the customer dining experience and increase revenues for the business. She suffered during the COVID-19 shutdown period, and they're looking for different ways to keep customers there and keep them entertained during the course of the meal. And that's what's before the board this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Assad. Again, we have nobody left in the room to speak for or against this application. So, again, to reiterate, I mean, there's essentially no changes in operation. Bar manager specifically adding, I'm assuming coin-operated?
Coin-operated.
Pool tables.
Ms. Ayash had asked for, and I've got the serial numbers, but I've been unable to ascertain or get the Massachusetts numbers that she's looking for. I've got a photograph of the machines themselves, I have the serial numbers, but,
Serial numbers should be fine.
well, I've got those.
Okay.
I'll be happy to furnish them either now or tomorrow, or
Tomorrow's
after the
fine.
meeting. Okay.
Well, we have 2 separate issues here in front of us. I don't know if the board has any questions specifically for Attorney Assad?
How
Not yet.
many amusement machines? 2?
2, just 2
Okay.
pool tables, that's all.
I missed that.
Well, certainly it would take separate motions, since we have our detective here, Campoloni. Any issues from the police department?
No.
Okay. So, again, we have the possibility of 2 different motions. What is the will of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the amusement machines. That's 2 pool tables.
Motion made by Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All those in favor?
And the next motion is I approve the, motion to approve the change of hours to 1 AM.
And these will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so 3
Yeah.
nights with an extension, a 2-hour extension from 11 to 1.
Right.
Thursday through Saturday, correct.
3 days,
Sunday-
right? Thursday,
Sunday
Friday,
stays the
Saturday.
same.
Still the same.
Stay- Yeah, so that's it, those are the, just to be consistent, that was it, yes. Thursday through Saturday, changing from noon to 11, noon to 1 AM, 2-hour extension, that's all.
2-hour extension each day.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, so motion made by Mrs. Esposito, seconded by Ms. Cudero. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Applications, both applications for coin-operated pool tables and extension of hours are approved. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, member commissioners. Ms. Ash, do you want those serial numbers right now? Would you like me to read them into the record?
No. You don't need to do that. Come over here and give it to me.
Thank you, Detective Cameron.
Now he's gonna keep saying your name because he knows it. He's like a kid. Such a kid. You guys can go, it's just a
At
minute.
this point, I'd ask the board if we have item number 10 on the agenda. Do we have
can't
any
read.
old business to discuss?
So,
As far as the chair is aware, we have none. Any new business to discuss? None, and I'd like to get a motion to approve and sign the minutes
Yes,
of
that's
March
Tuesday.
23rd. Could I get that motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve and sign the March 23rd minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Cudero, seconded by Mrs. Esposito. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We will sign those after the conclusion of the meeting. Could we get a
Yep, motion
motion
to,
motion to adjourn made by
Adjourn.
Mrs. Esposito,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Cudero. All those in favor?
aye.
This meeting of the Fall River Licensing Board concludes. Thank you very much, everybody.